Hey everybody, welcome to another video. This is the second piece in my, I'm just call it view builder optimization kind of sub-series. And what we're gonna do in this episode, where I left off from the last one is I ran into a key lookup on my execution plan, and I'm gonna explain how we're gonna resolve those key lookups and what they actually mean, and some other things to optimize this query so we can see how fast we can build 3,500 views. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. All right, so where we left off in the last video is I was looking at the key lookup and how to deal with that. So when we look at what's going on, we see that it's coming from this procedure. So actually, let me close all but this window. There we go. So key lookup basically means that there's not enough information being returned, so it's got to make a second hit. It's got to join two indexes. So when we go in here and we got to figure out why, and probably it's this piece right here, this dataset ID, and getting back the dataset name and database ID. Oh. So if I go, oh, that's a different one. Dang it, I lost my place. Oh no, that's the right one. That's the right one. So there are a lot in here. Okay. So let's do, yep, we're at the top. And it's looking for database, dataset type, dataset number. That's the output list. So we can kind of see what it's trying to do. It's looking, see, database ID, dataset type, dataset number, tenant, and I guess key name and name, because I do use a snippet. Let's do a select snippet from dataset name. Okay, so I use this snippet a lot in a lot of my code, so I know that's how I'm gonna have to index a lot of subject areas. And what I'll be doing later is taking this information, how we're building these indexes, because it's going to be the same pattern everywhere. So creating another index to solve that key lookup, we are going to create an index on the dataset table on the dataset ID, and we're going to include the tenant, the specific dataset number, the name, the key name, and the type ID. So dataset ID, include the tenant, database. Actually, I don't think I referenced the database in there. Nope. Database. So and sometimes when you get these long names like this, you might want to create, and it's very bad form. It's very bad form to abbreviate, but sometimes you want to abbreviate, maybe TSNKTD or something, and then you would use that same abbreviation for all of your base tables, because this would be the same for database, for subject, for data point. So we're going to put it on the reference, and we're going to go back, see what else is in here. So I bet you the database is doing the same thing, and the data point is doing the same thing, but the data point needs sequence also. So let's go back and grab this guy and replace database with system and data set with database. So that should actually take care of, oh, of course not, because data set was hiding in that column name. Okay. So that would really take care of what we just did. Instead of database, we're talking to the system, which is the database's parent. We're going to put it on the database table. Database ID is going to be our primary item, so we can save that. And then we could do this again, database with data point, and system with database. I mean data set. Because we're going to add the same thing to the columns, except for now we have an ordering. So what we want to do, come on. Oh, DB system main. Always overloading. We want to put the sequence ascending in the beginning of our non-clustered, so it's ordered by our sequence. Because when we're building our views and everything, dang it. When we're creating our views, we want our non-clustered index to automatically be ordered, and then we'll get our data point ID back. And that is not, no, I totally messed this one up. Drop existing on, and we want to do data set. And remove data set here. So we get a nice, for each table, then our data points are sequenced, and then we have our data point ID. So that should give us a good representation of what's happening in our code, because I know it's a view builder. So if I run my index plan again, my top ones are okay because I haven't altered any previous indexes. And now my key lookups disappeared, and I just get straight queries from that long name. So even my data point key lookup disappeared. There's still an issue, or it's saying there's still an issue, which is okay. We can figure that one out. Okay, we got a scan on the name, right? What else do we have? We have a seek on the database. That's our cursor, dataset type. Okay, so that's the last one. It's saying database ID and name. So this is the smaller piece, which is, let's find it in our code. That should be okay. That should be okay. That's not doing anything, right? Yep. That's just string formatting. There we go. So this is what's tripping out, because like I said, our where clause needs to be the first item in our index, or our main piece of our non-cluster index, and the select items need to be the include. Now I do this because it's just, 1 to 8 bits, depending on how it registers one, without an implicit conversion. So we need to create one more for the data set table, which will basically be a parent and name, because we are looking for the name based on the database ID. So we want database ID name include dataset ID. It is very helpful to always include the primary key, because that primary key is a very unique number within the table itself. We'll do that, and then we'll go back and run it again and see how we fared. Yeah. So I'll have to go back and look at the video. Right now we're at 7%. I wonder how much we dropped it to. Everything's looking good now. Everything is a seek. All right. So then we go down further, 0%. Seeks, no key lookup. That's it there. Keep going back. Oh, now we got some more things to do. And actually, this is where I would start to pull some of the indexes that I made and just replace, data set with definition. Because what is this? Key name and tenant? Well, we had one of those for types. Oh, and this is also a type. So we can take that index and move it forward because we are very patternistic in our approach. Family and key name include class ID. So this looks exactly like the indexes that we need from our previous video. Definition, ID, type, and name. This is very similar to the parent one that we created, except for there's no parent. I mean, the one that we just created for database and data set. So I think it's a good time to break right here. I think what I'll do is probably one more video to look at the relationship, and I do kind of want to finish this out because, small 3-part right now for the optimization, but 726 data sets, which equates to over 3,500 views being created in 1 minute and 29 seconds. And I really want to optimize this to see how far down that can go, because 35 object creation scripts, that's quite a bit. So not sure what we will reach, but it looks like just one more video would take care of that. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember, like this video and YouTube will recommend it to users in our industry, and subscribe to support me. Have a good one, and I will see you next time.